Swifty Taylor, that is a not only a compelling question, but it's a deep concern for King Trick and the Nordic Confederacy, which runs, by the way, from Whitefish, Montana to the UP. Yes, the current situation in the Ukraine makes me believe that we are in the beginning of World War III. Your king wants to be wrong on this. There's no one who would want this. As I sit here this evening with Swifty Taylor, the producer of All Too Reals Media, representing the Podfather, Podfada, Sea Island Creole, I take this issue deeply seriously in light of the fact of when you look at Zelensky and Biden and Macron and Trudeau, these are not serious leaders of nations like King Trick of the Nordic Confederacy. I think they're leading us to World War III. I don't think it's as quick as some of the firebrands in the Nordic Confederacy have believed. In hindsight, the last couple of years, I've said, no, the king has been right. The king has been right almost across the board, and that's part of being a king. We're not perfect as kings, but I've been very accurate on this. It's going back and forth. It probably won't really kick in seriously until 2025 to 2026, or at least after this next presidential election. So you'll see it, kind of things happen, they come and they go, and then there's other geopolitical factors going on here with Saudi Arabia is kind of disconnecting from the US. And the whole geopolitical framework is in a revolution. It's not an evolution, this is a revolution. I don't know if it's George H.W. Bush's New World Order. I don't know. We don't know. But there's unintended consequences for his kind of global social engineering that we're about to see in our lifetime. And I would say not in our lifetime, within the next 3 to 4 years, it's going to get sassy. So as a king, I'm watching this very closely, and I'm watching in particular the great country of China. And where they're going to be. They have these deals going on with Saudi Arabia. Zelensky is worried about them selling weapons to Russia. There's these great military exercises going on between Russia and China. And so we need to watch China really close in all this. And we have to have a right assessment of China. Only 5% of the Chinese people are involved with the Communist Party. Not all Chinese are communist Chinese. And you've got to look at parts of Asia that are Chinese, but not on the China mainland, who have tasted the better aspects of Western culture, but are still pretty traditional people, but they like the freedom, is what I'm saying. They like having a smoothie on Friday night and maybe playing a game of Go with their friends, or coming to Montana and hiking the mountains with King Trick of the Nordic Confederacy. They enjoy that. So we need to rightly size up these situations. But yes, I believe we're headed towards World War III, Swifty Taylor, and your king will be in the middle of that, because we real kings have to lead from the front. That's what we do. We're not like these politicians who are in the... Yeah, there's a certain... By the way, I want to bring this up. There's a certain comic yogi. Back when I was in the paratroops, we called him a Remph. And I won't say what that means, except that he's called a rear echelon mother. You fill in the word. So we know what the comic yogi is. He's a process engineer, hanging out with Sharon on heroin, a PhD from Washington, who I don't approve of, but she does entertain me, by the way. And yeah, the Finnish Mongols know this is all coming down in there. You know what the thing is? You know one of the aces in my hole as a king of the Nordic Confederacy? Chinese women love the Finnish Mongols. I don't know if it's the caribou meat they eat. I don't know if it's the Finnish anvil, who, by the way, has a problem with a certain very private part of his body. Let's put it this way. This guy's incredible. He don't need all natural Viagra. He knows where he's putting it, and he's never rushing it. And it's like these Chinese girls know this guy. That's one Finnish Mongol. I'm just saying, he ain't abusing it. He's a good man. But it's like they pick up on that. It's like it gets them like, oh man, there's a lot of testosterone around here. these Finnish Mongols, they're good guys, man. And the Eskimo Mafia likes them because they like playing winter lacrosse and hunting with my Japanese whaling knife and getting some Arctic char up in the Yukon in my throne room. But I digress. Let's get back to World War III. Yes, World War III is coming. Yes, King Trick and the Nordic Confederacy are watching closely. Yes, we have and yes, Harper will be involved as a head of the lesbian Confederates. Now, I am not saying Harper can head up the KGBT. That's a unique position. I might have to find a different trainee for that. I might have to. A real trainee, because I don't think Harper's actually a real trainee. I want my trainees real. And so I might have to go to Seattle or Portland. I got a cage fight coming up in California in June. So if I live through this cage fight in the Flathead Valley May 6th and I do well, I might find a trainee in California to head up the KGBT. I haven't decided yet. So we're headed towards World War III. Zelensky kind of cowed to, they backed off a little in NATO, I think, because they saw China get behind Russia. And they know a China-Russia alliance is not good for NATO. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to stop the fight that's coming. These Doomkopfs, these big blocks are going to go to war. And, King Trick, whether I'm in the Swan Valley, up in the Yukon, over in Kalispell, doing a little cage fighting, putting the Minnesota cream pie in his place. I have to. Humble yourself, cream pie. So, but we got a lot going on in the Confederacy, and we're headed to World War III. And excuse me, King Trick and the Nordic Confederacy. This bear claw scepter is very magical. Hang on a second. I'm channeling Bear Chief. Harper went away. Now, Bear Chief kicked Harper out. Bear Chief, I feel him, the divine plumber, head of the Dung Gate, which is in the Old Testament. We're definitely headed towards World War III. And Bear Chief is saying you got to have your plumbing in order, and you have to have a good smokehouse, and you got to know how to hunt and fish and trap, and you got to know how to understand crisis management, business continuity, and you got to know the basics. Bear Chief didn't say you have to go off grid or get kooky, but know the basics. You know what I mean? Hunt, fish, trap, live a good life, work your job. Go into the city if you have to work, but just be a good Bear Chief survivalist. Thank you, Bear Chief.